A very good morning to all of you. How are you guys today? Today, Friday, the 23rd of January. Welcome to the trading cage, and this is where we beat the gold every single day. How's that? Well, today's Friday, so very, very close to the weekend. We're not going to work too many hours today simply because we are traders, so we don't need to work every single day until very late. For me, midday is basically the weekend already. So this is really, really good. Let's go over our chart, see what the gold is doing today. Yesterday, gold did exactly what we wanted it to do. I was hoping for it to go renew that high once again. So it did. They grabbed all that liquidity, also all the inefficiency that we had on the 1 hour candle. So he grabbed that and I grabbed that trade. So I was really, really happy yesterday about that. That was awesome. I managed to get that whole movement going. So for today, what we'll get here is let's go over everything that happened, and then we are going to map the price once again. The important thing about mapping the price every single day, and you see that I do this every day with you guys, is simply because I need you to understand. I need you to understand what the price is doing, where it's going, and why. Why am I mapping the price? Because if I have everything fresh on my head, where are my resistance? Where is my support? Where is the price that I mapped? Where am I willing to trade? Where am I willing to get into some sort of trade? How much is it going to pay me? What would be my stop? Okay. And what would be a best way to hide my stop? Once we know all of that, then we know exactly what we want from the market. Okay. And the way to do that is coming right back here. Every day we'll go through the daily chart. On the daily chart, we have a notion of price here, opened up here, went over to the record high once again, renewed that high, and then went to test support. And now it's back around the 50% mark of the day. Okay. So it's just about on the 50% region. And then we'll have to go over to the 1 hour candle. We were hoping that the gold would get to 5,000 in about February. So we're on the 23rd of January, and it's pretty much about there, about 5,000 bucks per ounce. So people that have gold, really good for all of them. Okay, so people making money right now. And people trading gold, if you are holding your position, if you have been holding your position for the last 3-4 months, you just made quite a lot of money. All right. So right now, what have we got? We've got the 50% of the day. That's the green line right there. One thing that I was waiting for that it hasn't done yet is come and test that 50% mark. It hasn't tested that. So this is a bit, I'm waiting for it to go there, but it did go to the support region, okay, which is the maximum height here of that movement before. So I was hoping that it would actually come down here and test a little bit lower to actually test these region here, which it hasn't done yet. Test that region there. Where is it? Right there. So I expected that price to come down a bit lower to test the support and then continue on its way up. But it found support here a little bit higher, okay, than the price that I wanted to test. But that's all good. What can happen right now is it may reject that 50% of the day. If it does break through, that means that price will be coming here around the trigger candle number 97. So we'll just mark that one up as well. We still have a little bit of inefficiency here on candle 100 for the price to get to. So we have this inefficiency here, which you might go and get it in the next few minutes if it breaks through that 50%, okay? On our 1 hour, let me see if the short continues. Let's see if that trend line still works. Kind of does. Kind of still does work. Okay, so what else have we got? We've got region of 50%. We have got good stopping point there, candle 97. We candles has tested the trigger candle number 101, which is a good movement. That's a healthy movement right there. You just hit the target of the 50% of the day. Cool. Let's go over to the 15-minute chart. On our 15-minute chart, we can see that inefficiency here around that region. We do want to see that candle breaking through that 50% region, okay? So we got the 5-minute candle closing in about a minute 10. If it does close above, breaking through that last high and grabbing that liquidity there, we might have a solid movement up. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay, sorry guys. That was my father had a little issue in my farm. So I had to pick that one up. Sorry about that. So let's go over to our 5-minute chart here just to see if this 5-minute candle is going to manage to break through that 50% region and if it's going to grab that liquidity there. Now it did break through, but not enough, did it? On 1 minute, candles were not closing above the other ones. I need the test. I need it to test down. It's not going to test. I do have inefficiency to the left, but it would be really, really good if that candle tested first, simply because I need a test of support in that region. It hasn't done that, not even on the 1-minute chart. Let's see if it will go down and test. Want to see it, if these candles here come back to test and find support. but it's not really testing much. I wanted to test that 50% of that day before we can actually get into a long trade. Okay, now it's coming back to test. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna jump into a long trade with a really short stop on this trade, simply because once it accelerates, it should pay us. It should pay us a good target here on that inefficiency. Okay, I won't go too far out. I would go about, let me see, about 400 points on this trade. And then if it comes back, I would put my stop just below the support here. Okay, so it's a really short stop for a really short trade. Just because candle 158 broke that 50% region. And now candle 793 has tested that support. So I'm going to jump into that trade. Again, it's a really short trade, okay? Because we have a bit of inefficiency on the 15-minute candle. So I don't want to go over that 4940 at the moment. Unless it really accelerates once it grabs all that liquidity that was on top of candle 138. 793 closed with a big push from buyers. So it's not looking that bad. Only thing I've got to keep my eye on here is that the 15-minute chart. It's closing now, and the next candle will need to test. The thing is, the test of the 15-minute candle is a lot bigger than the test of the 5-minute candles. So we got to keep an eye out for that. Still holding on, still closing above 50%, the 50% region. Again, I'm gonna leave that stop really, really short, okay? If it gives me a short stop, that's totally fine. I'll just jump into another trade if it loses that support. We cannot risk the whole profit that we made throughout the week. Today is Friday, is the last day of the week, so there's no need for us to be risking all our profit in one trade. Not in the end of the week, right? Not even worth the headache. But let's see. Okay, 15-minute candle opening now. Let's see if it tests down. Testing now on 1 minute. You can see the test. Tested support. We are now in the trade. Let's see if it accelerates and grabs all that inefficiency there to the left. We do have a little bit of support here on the 5-minute candles. Come on, buddy. I just want to grab that little bit of inefficiency. So 400 points is a short trade. One thing to keep an eye out for is here on 5 minutes. This is a region of resistance right there. Okay, so we got to keep an eye out for that. It may hit resistance, then come back. But let's see if buyers here, we are in a high trend on the macro movement. We also on a high trend on the micro movement here. So it should pay us. On the 1 minute, candle 797 is coming back to test the last support. I don't want to see it breaking through that. Now we got to wait for the market to do what it has to do. Again, I'm going to stop here really short, okay? Simply because I'm not going to risk a lot on this trade. Okay, so broke through that trigger candle there, possibly come down now to test that other region of support down below, which is the top of these candles here. Okay, so that will grab, it will get to our protection right now. Almost touched it. Almost stopped me. That's all good. As I said before, I could risk that 600 bucks in there to grab that 1,000. I would prefer if it found support and then went back, of course, but that's totally fine if it does grab me. There we go, just stopped. That's fine. So that was a really short stop. Let's wait for that 15-minute candle to come and test this support right here. Coming down to the support region now on the 15-minute chart. Rafael. Oh, Rafael, sorry, mate. I just saw your saw your message now. Take would have been on the MD22. So 4940 here, okay? Let's see if candle 161 comes back over the 50% line. 50% of the day. Candle 160 now closed below the 50% of the day. But on the 15-minute chart, it might just have been the test of that support. So if it confirms this pullback going high, I'm going to put my order through again to continue the movement. If it comes down and confirms a pullback to the minimals, I'll wait. Okay, so we do have support on this trend line here. Let's see what it does. People sometimes they worry about their trades, and sometimes they'll see, oh, but the market came through and got my protection, and then they get quite upset about it. One thing that we work a lot on our minds here is that price grabbing your protection is quite normal, okay? You cannot be worried about that all the time because it's going to happen. That's the only thing that we know that's going to happen. So one thing that we do work a lot with our students is risk management. So always work within your risk management strategy. Okay, don't overtrade and don't lose more than you can in a trade. So we knew exactly the region we were getting into. We did have a good trade here for 400 points. It was really good either way because the stop was really, really short. So we took a loss of about 200 points, just over 250, for a goal of 400. So don't really worry about, oh, it got my stop. Don't worry about that. It will be all right. So here on the 804, it has confirmed pullback to the high, but it didn't break through that trigger candle. I'm waiting for a test down from 804. If 804 tests the 50% region, I'm going to put my trade back in. I just need a test from 804. Come on, buddy. If it tests this support here, I'm happy. So it's got to test at least these trigger candles here to the left. If it does this, I'm happy with that test. Okay, it did what I wanted to do. So I'm going to put my buy in there. Again, my stop will be really, really low because it's under that movement. So it's below 300 points. Let's see if price will come through. So it's testing that 50% region now on the 1 minute. If 804 comes below and then breaks through, then we take our order out, okay? So we're not going to be holding on to orders in that region if 805 comes back through the 50%. All right, 805 heads didn't break through that 50%. Candle 161 closed in the region just above 50%. Let's see if 162 tests down and comes back up. There are a couple of things here. If 806 comes and tests that trigger candle and comes back up, that shows us that the movement is really, really healthy, okay? So I would prefer if 806 came down and tested before it got into my trade. But let's see how that's going to play out. Once again, I'm in the trade. If it comes back, I'm going to stop short again, okay? Because price has already tested the support level here. So I'm going to stop it short. I tell you guys every day the same thing. So if price, just 1 second. If price tries to break through a region and it can't break through it, it will come back to try to grab liquidity, which is what candle 799 did. If it can't break through, if it grabs that liquidity and comes back up and can't break through once again the same region, what it will do next is we'll have to come down lower to get more liquidity from down below. Okay, so since we know that, sometimes there's no point on holding on to certain trades because we know for sure that price will have to come through below those points to grab more liquidity. So there's no point on holding on to it. So let me put my target there. Just want to clear that inefficiency out of candle 38 for now. It's a good place for a partial as well. For people who knows how to work with partials, I'll actually record a study here and then I'll add it to my YouTube channel so you guys can know how to take partials out, because that will be a good lesson for most people. Not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people know how to do that as well. Cool. I'm in the trade. So 807 confirm, 806 confirmed that pullback, 807 broke through the trigger candle, 808 came back but still in the region of that trigger candle. If 809 fails that pullback, that means that price will come down lower and then we can close that trade. Testing support now, didn't manage to break through trigger candle 805. A lot of pressure from sellers at the moment. Looks like sellers are not going to accept that price going up right now. If it comes below, grabs and breaks that support, I'm going to wait until price shows me the direction that he wants to take. Okay. Right now, it could just grab that liquidity, could just be grabbing that liquidity below 805 to go back up. But if price rejects these region once again, I'm not going to take long trades on these region. We can see here we got a doji. So doji means indecision in the price. So indecision in the market at the moment. So price could go either way as it is. In our technique, we are waiting because we do have support around the 50% region. And we do have support below on the trigger candle there. So I'll wait for that, see if it's going to break through or not. This price could come down here, touch that support area and come back up. There's a lot of pressure from buyers at the moment and a lot of pressure from sellers. So I'll pay to see what's going to happen. Here on the 15-minute candle, we can see that candle 54 closed also as a doji. So it doesn't give me a clear reference to if the price is actually going up or going down at the moment. But it did close above the 50% region, which tells me that we still have support around this region here. And if we have support, I'm holding on to my trade. If it loses support, I'll cut my trade short. Price is almost on my break even. A12 didn't manage to break through trigger candle 807. A13 is coming to test again. There's a lot of pressure from buyers and sellers at the moment. But if that candle, if movement here doesn't go over that 807 line, then we are in trouble. We could be stopped by the market. There we go. We are on our break even. I'm still going to hold on to my trade. You could close your trade when it hits break even, okay? If you don't feel very certain about it, or if you haven't done your risk management properly, you could close your trade, call it a day and say, I don't think it's going there. It could not go, it may not go where I want it to go, but the analysis right, the techniques right. All I can do is wait. Nobody owns the market, so in the end of the day, the market's always right. Okay, so it went over to our break even, got a very big push from sellers there. We do have trigger candle number 811. That's the only stopping point we've got here at the moment, but we got two, look, on the same region. So we got these two being our support on the 1 minute. Come on, mate, just accelerate and pay me my take profit. Just go. There's inefficiency to your left. There's liquidity on top of candle 54. There's plenty for you to grab up there. Sellers are pushing through. They're not allowing price to break through. If buyers can't break through that region there, the maximum point of candle 160, price will come down lower, most likely to the trigger candle 156 or to the trigger candle 148. Okay. So we know where price will go in case it doesn't continue its movement up. But we still have pressure from buyers at the moment. We do have a trend line going up on the 1 minute here. So we have that, which can make us breathe a lot easier. Another push from buyers and sellers trying to push the price back. I didn't think that this trade would have so much fight on it. I do like trades that actually pay us a lot faster, but market is the market and will do whatever it has to do to grab more liquidity, right? Price once again is on our break even. Candle 817 tested down. 817 must break through that resistance and must close above candle 796 and close above candle 816. It already renewed the maximum of candle 816. It did close above candle 816, but not by much. That resistance to the left is really, really strong. It's holding that price, and I want the price to move at least about 300 points, and then I'm going to put my stop loss on a break even. Right now, we can move our stop loss here under candle 810, make it shorter because we do have support in that region. Come on, 818. So price hasn't been able to break through the last high, okay? So we got a big test down from 818 to the trigger candle 815, trying to grab whatever liquidity could grab, and a bit of the inefficiency here from candle 816. Candle 819 now should have enough pressure to break through. That's good. Oh, big push from sellers again. Where are the buyers? We want the buyers to push the price back up. And that's a good reading, candle per candle reading on the 1 minute chart. We can do that reading in any time frame. So come on, bud. Come on. Big push from buyers. You're about 300 points from paying my take profit. Okay, so what it's showing me right now, it doesn't have enough power to go up and beat that resistance region to the left. Okay, so most likely this price will have to come a lot lower to grab liquidity. In this case, I'm thinking that if it breaks through this support, I'm gonna cut my trade short because that resistance has proven to be quite strong. There's a bit of inefficiency here on 819. Let's see if buyers will actually grab that. I want candle 55 to close above 54. It has to close above it. If it closes inside of that structure, for me, it doesn't help, okay? Candle 165 is testing up, but candle 820 has tested down for it on the 1 minute. So I do not need to wait for a test on the 5-minute candle. Okay, so we got big hit from buyers now. It cleared the inefficiency here on the 5-minute candle. Let's see if it's going to be able to break through and take that inefficiency on the 15-minute candle. Big push from sellers again. I'm going to put this trade on a break even, okay? It's going to take me out. It's not a problem. There's too much of a big fight in there between buyers and sellers. So I didn't lose. It took me out. That's totally fine. But I've got quite a lot of pressure in there in that region. So I'm out of that trade. I hope you guys can understand why. Let's go over it. Okay, our analysis. I've got price going up here on the 1 minute and it can't it just renews maximum high, but it doesn't break through. So I've got a candle 818, which goes over to the maximum high, comes back down to the trigger, goes back up. Candle 819 renews that high, comes back into the structure. Candle 820 comes back into that trigger candle. Then candle 821 gets a big push from buyers, renews that maximum high, but then closes inside of the structure. Once it does that, what it tells me is that the price will have to come a lot lower. So I prefer to cut my trade on a break even than wait for all these correction here, which could induce more sellers in the structure. Okay. So right now I didn't lose any money on that trade simply because the 1 minute is showing me that it does not have enough force at the moment to break through the region of resistance, which is right here on the 15 minutes that I showed you. So I've got resistance here on this region here. That's my resistance. Oh, Thiago, but it could come all the way back up. It's totally fine. If it does, I'll get into another trade. But right now, I know that I have a resistance here on the minimal of candle 9 on the 15 minutes and on the minimal of candle 18 on the 15 minutes. That is holding that price quite well. So the inefficiency on the 5 minute candle here, that was all taken, okay, by candle 165. So that was good, that was fine. But then I still have all of that resistance to the left, which is holding that price. So I've got these minimals here and those minimals there. I can even put it right there and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So once I get the price in a region like that and it does not want to continue, and I can see it clearly on the 1 minute here, that is too much of a fight for it, why would I risk my money staying in that structure? Okay, it's a lot better. I'll take my stop loss to my break even. If it comes back, it will take me out of the trade. I didn't lose anything. That's totally fine, and we will wait for a better trade to trade. Okay. Good thing would have been if it would have just gone straight in there. It was really close to it, but it didn't quite hit it. So it is what it is. Okay, you shouldn't have any emotions on your trades. Price may well go back into that, into the highs, into our target. Okay, but for me, it was just not worth it because see, A22 broke below that 50% region there, which is this one here. And then A23 closed below, A24 closed below, A25 is coming back up right now. But for me, it's not really worth it. Candle 55 closed inside of candle 54 on the 15 minutes, okay? Candle 56 may well go there and pay us that trade, but I'm already out and safe. As I said in the beginning, it was only a scalp, and scalps should pay a lot faster than that. Well, for now, on the 5 minutes, we have all these candles above 50%. Okay, so at the moment, candle 165 came, tested the on trigger candles in the 50% region, went right back up and closed up well above that 50% region. So that's a good point for the price. You still have resistance in this area, in this region here. But it did close quite well. We still respecting that short, but it did break the short on the 1 minute. Okay, so this short was broken, and that's one of the triggers for me to get out of the trade as well. if I have a short that the movement is respecting, and then all of a sudden it breaks through on a hard scalp, there's no need for me to be holding that trade. A good trader will always know when's a good time to get in and when's a good time to get out. Are you guys understanding me fine? Is everything okay? Does it make sense to you guys? Just if you can write down on the chat, would be good to get some feedback from you guys. Once again, a lot of people find very complicated the reading through the 1 minute chart, okay? Especially the reading candle per candle reading. We do offer private mentorships, okay? So just get in touch with me for those. We can sort that out for you guys. I will actually write down on the chart. I'll leave my number here so you can get in touch with me. And I will also leave our Instagram. So uh, just send um, just send us a message there. Actually, there you go. So that's our Instagram, and we're here to help you all. One thing, please do like, comment, subscribe to our channel, share this channel with your friends, okay? We do have a very big aim, which is 3,000 people in 60 days. We are in the mark of 10% at the moment. So we just around 300 people, which is really, really good for 15 days. Okay. Thank you very much to all of you guys that subscribe to our channel. But we do need another 2,700, which is a very, very big ask for me because I don't know 3,000 people. I actually do know 3,000 people. I haven't told them all yet. Not all of them are traders, so they are in another niche of their lives, not day trades. So looks like candle 56 wants to renew that high. Candle 56 here on our 15-minute chart. Tiago, you got out of the trade and now it's going to go on your target. It's totally fine. That doesn't bother me anymore, okay? You should bother me when I was a new trader. I would get really frustrated every time the market did that because I wanted to be in every single trade, right? So I would see a trade and I would think, I don't want the price to go without me. And then I would hit buy now, buy at market. I would do all sorts of stuff not to miss out on the trade. These days, I look at it and I know that US market will open really soon, will give me better volatility for it. So I can always wait. Missing out on one small trade is not going to kill me. And that's pretty much it. Let me see a couple of things here. Brazilian market, not very easy to trade today. Too many trigger candles and too many relevant stopping points at the moment. There we go, candle 56. We'll go on target now. So that has paid the target that we had before. After a very big and long fight from buyers and sellers. Just so you see, here at candle 810, okay, just so we review exactly what happened here on the 1 minute. When we got into that trade here at candle 806, we had our stop loss here just below 799. 806, 810 came down to the 50% region, found support, went back up. Once it broke through and renewed that price, I said, well, we have a shorter stop now. We can bring our stop down just below 810. The funny thing is that, look at this. If we had held that trade, this price would have come here. It would have stopped us and would have gone back. Now, the good thing about shorting your stops, making them shorter, is that when price comes back, if it is going to stop you, you would lose less capital, right? So a way of protecting your capital is price moves about 300 points, you put it on break even. But on gold, a lot of the times it will actually come and take you out, okay, with just 300 points, especially on the tests of the 15-minute candles. They tend to test quite a lot. So when the 15-minute candles, when I get into a trade on the 15 minutes, I want to wait for it to test first, and then I wait for it to test, and then I get into it. Because if I get onto a trade and it comes down to test and it breaks through support, then it pretty much tells you, look, I may come back to your price, but I could be going down there, you know? I may be going to grab more liquidity down below, and that could stop you. So this is an important thing about waiting for candles to test, okay? Simply because it goes against you, it finds support, and then comes back up. Once you find support, at least you have a better assurance that, look, it went to support, tested it, this trade is going the way that I want it to go. It gives you another confluence for your trade, okay? Makes it a lot better, because when things start going sideways or not going the way that you want it to go, you can have the assurance that, look, I did every single thing that I'm trained to do and that I train every single day, and I did everything right. My risk management, my risk management is right. And that's it. It's just one of those things. Today's trade didn't pay. Yesterday's trade paid wonders. Managed to do over $6,000 yesterday. That was great. All right. So today we had a loss of $600 on the first trade, and we had break even on the second one. We'll wait until price breaks the resistance. After it breaks the resistance and tests down again, creates a pullback on the last known support, then we can get into another trade and continue our trades up, okay, or down if it designs so. It's 9:55. Time went really fast today. Oh, that was really, really fast. So guys, what do we have here? We have a whole bunch of liquidity up here, okay? And then we have more liquidity up here. The way the price is going, most likely, if it managed to break through these resistance here, okay, Remember that this line here is a trigger candle on the 1 hour. So if it managed to break through these resistance, this price is going there, is going high, okay? At the moment, we are just above the last resistance, but we still have this point here, which could be quite strong for this price. Be around here. So from here to here, we could have a bit of a clear path, okay? I would wait because price just grabbed all that inefficiency. It could actually make a pullback right now. But what you want to see is if you see price making a pullback and confirming this movement up and confirming this movement up, confirms that pullback, we can surely get into a long trade. If it comes back below that 50%, where is it? If price comes back below 50% and breaks through this support here, what you would need to just wait for a test up around that 50% region or this last triggers here, and then you would have a selling trade, okay? Good target point here would be around just after this inefficiency here, okay? So this would be a good target. And this here would be a very good target, okay? That's the trigger candle there. So all you got to do is if price breaks through, if breaks through and closes below that, then you can hold on to that trade. If it comes here and then all of a sudden it goes back up, then get out of that trade. We do have these very strong support here in that region. Okay. So if price melts and comes down below 50% and you get into that selling trade, this is a good target, good place to take a partial out. This is a good target and a good place to take a partial out. And this is a very good final target. Remember, you are selling against the trend, okay? The trend is a uptrend on the macro movement and on the micro movement as well. So any shorts on the market, you want to be just taking a little bit of the money, put in your pocket, and wait for the next movement, okay? Don't be trying to sell and holding on forever because you might get caught by the market. So we have selling liquidity here. That's inefficiency there. Where is it? So that's inefficiency there. Then you have a lot of selling liquidity here in that region. Okay, so that's all the markings that you need for today's trade. See prices coming back. It's retracting through the 50% zone. So it found resistance once again. So wait for it to give you a good option to either buy again or if it comes below to sell. But just remember not to take that trade and hold on to it for a long time because you are going against the main trend. Okay, guys, it's 10 o'clock. Thank you very much. It has been awesome to have you guys all here. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, ask your friends to subscribe as well. Help us reaching that goal of 3,000 subscribers in 60 days. You guys have been awesome. If you need any mentorship, please get in touch with me and I will teach you exactly how to do that candle per candle reading. Apart from that, you guys have been awesome throughout this week. It was awesome to have all of you guys here. Thank you for watching. This is the Trading Cage where we beat the gold. Thank you very much.